Hello everyone, this is Oreo Blaster. Today I'm going to be going over a replay analysis sent in to me by a friend that I played some games with a few days ago. He was playing Tyrael on this particular game, and he wanted me to look at how he did on Tyrael. So for blue team, we have Tyrael, Zarya, Lily, Kel'Thuzad, Tygus, and on red team we have Blaze, Kael'thas, Tyran, Samuro, and D.Va. So blue team has Tyrael, Zarya as their tanks, solo support Lily, and 2 damage with Kel'Thuzad and Tychus. Red team has 2 tanks with Blaze and D.Va, 2 damage with Samuro and Kael'thas, and 1 support with Tyrande. So obviously, already, red team's going to have a very hard time winning any kind of poke sort of situations. Samuro's going to have a hard time taking really any damage. Tyrande just can't heal. She can barely heal 1 tank, so she's not going to be able to keep her team healed up. Fortunately, Blaze has his own self-healing mechanic, and D.Va can just get her mech back if she needs to. So it's not as bad as it could be for her. Like, if it was like 2 tanks that have like almost no regen, it would be like almost impossible for her to do anything. So I'd say just based on the current comps, blue team is heavily favored, but it all depends on if KT can finish his, or Kel'Thuzad can finish his stacks. And again, another thing in blue team's favor is that the other team has a Samuro, so it'll make Kel'Thuzad's quest so much easier to complete. I feel like Lily's gonna have a really hard time keeping both Zarya and Tyrael alive, so Tyrion's gonna have to do a lot of work mitigating damage with his righteousness shield.
Ready to kick some ass?
The light of justice shines on this realm.
So I'd say that the top laner should be Tyrael for blue team and probably Blaze for red team. It could also be D.Va. I think that it's better if it's Blaze. It's an interesting play style. So right now, blue team just wants to try to assist KTZ as best they can for getting his stacks. They do need to send someone top though, because currently no one is top on the blue team. Let's stay locked onto Tyrael so we can watch Tyrael specifically. They do need to send someone up top. Tyrael's getting good shield damage prevention. Oh, it's not looking too good for KT. So, immediately something there that he could have done differently for the KTZ is that he could have intentionally been positioning between KTZ and Blaze, just in the case that did happen. I mean, Blaze's stun is special in that it does create an AoE stun around the person it hits, so it wouldn't do as much as if it was like a Muradin stun he was screening, but it's still good to position in front of your squishy backline. Even if you need to leave, you need to make sure they get out first. That's a good kill on Tyrande. He should be able to make it out of this. He doesn't have enough mana to do his abilities, but he can just back up. So that was a really good pick. Again, someone really needs to go top here. So even though they're getting picks, it's like it's offset almost just by the soak they're missing. I mean, they keep getting picks, so it's fine, but Tyrael really needs to go top. If everybody on your team like vehemently refuses to get to solo lane, you need to unless you would be like just throwing off your entire team by going solo, you need to just go up there and be like, all right, I'm gonna take one for the team. So we know that D.Va's still up here by herself. This actually is a good case for where Ardent Restoration could have been the right pick, because just because of how many like small instances of damage they have, like the Blaze Fire, the KT Living Bomb ticks, the Samuro, each like clone auto attack, the Diva super fast auto attacks. You could get insane health regen with Tyrael with Ardent Restoration against their lineup, and it would also help Lily with like not having to heal Tyrael as much. So I think that this might actually have been a game where Ardent Restoration was the pick. But of course, Justice for All is totally fine. It would just mean that this 1v1 would be like just completely unfair for Diva, and Tyrael would 100% win. So this should be a Diva kill. I don't know why he chose not to take the sword there. I'm pretty sure that he could have chased Diva there, but that's fine. Should have capped the beacon when they had the chance, because then they could have gotten a bit of charge. Now they can't. He knows that this is the real Samuro, and he's currently zoning 2 of the red team off so that they can hopefully kill Blaze, which is a really good way to play that. It's a bummer that Tygus didn't have his grenade or use it for that. Okay, everyone needs to, or at least a few people need to go back bot to help out Zarya. I don't understand these rotations, but I mean by the whole team, or really both teams, but it's whatever. Should be a kill on both of them. He's probably gonna die for it though. I feel like there was a way that he could. I want to double check on that. I feel like there's a way that Tyrael could have positioned so that he wouldn't actually have to die for those kills. Like, I don't think he had to chase KT here. Or like, if he stepped a bit further out, then Zarya would have been able to finish him off. So he could have survived that, but then he probably would have just died to Samurai. But Zarya would have had her shield. I don't know, I think that he could have survived that. Not a fan of how KT is unable to stack on clones, but you know, that happens. We all have games like that.
This enemy must be punished.
There's a lot of things on the map. So yeah, Tyrael can just get top. Blue team should be able, yeah, they'll be able to stop the beacon before before they'd finish it because of Tyrael. Hopefully they can all get over to bot. I'm surprised that Diva used her mech for that. But yeah, I swear, if he had Ardent Restoration here, he could just completely destroy Diva. And again, I'm not saying that his choice was bad. It's just that I think that he would have gotten a lot of value out of that talent. Also, I didn't actually read the talent properly, so I'm totally misinterpreting this because I'm really dumb. It says dealing damage to a hero, not damage dealt to Tyrael. So it doesn't actually matter, but I still think that Ardent Restoration could be good with this team comp, just so it would make things easier on Lily. So I'm just dumb. I should actually read the talent first. Oh, I feel really dumb about that now. Oops. Okay, well, back to Tyrael. I was thinking it was kind of like Johanna's Iron Skin gives her move speed talent on 16. Or Diva's pro moves. Maybe, yeah, I think I was just getting it mixed up with that. Oh well. So everyone's top, which is not ideal. Someone should have stayed bot. Probably, honestly, it should have probably been Tyrael should have just started moving bot because he doesn't really have Zerg damage, or that much of it. He can smite the Zerg wave, but it doesn't do that much. Or also Kel'Thuzad could have been there because he could have gotten a bunch of stacks. Should be dead. How many stacks? She should be done by now. That's good chase. Kael'thas. Good bound by lava value. that smite. Oh, he's gonna get killed. Tyrael should survive this though. Okay. And again, someone needs to go top, so preferably Tyrael will do that. This is that classic scenario where it's like, for some reason, nobody wants to be in the off lane to soak. It's like, someone needs to be there. Can't keep missing soak. I don't think that was a very good Eldrin, just because, I mean, I don't know what scenario would allow him to, or would allow Tyrael to like dive under tower here. 3v1. Kel'Thuzad will make it out of this. Someone still needs to go top. And now I think that it's even better for Tyrael to go up there, because if Tyrael goes up there, the big danger is that there's no fort to run back to, so a character like Tygus or Kel'Thuzad would have a really hard time soaking that, because if they got ganked, they would like have no defense whatsoever. And Tyrael can just use his Eldruin and his Smite to escape really easily, and he has shields too to help him out. So I think that he's even more qualified to be the top soaker. What else? So right now, this is that like weird Tyrael thing where it's like, you know they're on the camp, so you want to go harass them because you have the health pool to harass them, and also the mobility and or escape. But at the same time, even if you know they're there, that doesn't mean you can really do anything about it. So like right here, I would say that the better play would have been to have everybody except for one person, let's say, or everybody, just move up towards the bruisers, so that then somebody can soak this, and then since everyone would be as 5, maybe 4, because someone could be soaking, they could just try to get closer to 10 while also applying merc pressure. Because now the issue is that because of the Tyrael engage here, blue team is going to have to respond to Tyrael, even though I'm sure he can get out. It's still leading on to, or Tyrael's still leading on to his team. Hey, you should come over here. So then now they're going to start having this engage that's not really ideal, not what it's just not good for blue team. Yeah, okay. They did end up not doing this camp. I thought that Samuro was actually going to be here on this with them, because then they could have been almost done with it. So this fight could work out, but it just would be so much safer to just grab mercs and keep soaking, because it's not going to, unless they start getting kills here, it's not going to make up for the level lead or level the experience disadvantage. So now Tyrael, in a way of the way that like frontliners or tanks can do when they're the ones leading the charge, he sort of led his team into all of a sudden just being in the red team side of the jungle, which again it might not be terrible, but now the rest of blue team is like just in this awkward spot. They're missing one of their warriors and arguably their other support with his shields and move speed and stuff. And Tyrael has to go all the way around here. So by checking this and then sort of picking a fight here, Tyrael set his team up to basically led his team into a really bad position, which is not so much anything specifically that he did wrong, or that like, I don't know. I mean, it's not like immediately apparent that was like a really bad thing, or that was on him, but it definitely was caused by him giving his team the thought that, oh, we need to go support Tyrael, or oh, we have the confidence to go fight this. So as he makes his way over, fortunately Samuro doesn't seem to be with his team, so it's a 4v4 for a long enough period of time. But it still took him a long time to get back there. I think he should have just gone back the way he came. So fortunately they get both kills there. And a lot of that was on the fact that red team was really slow to respond to blue team being in a really potentially bad spot. Because if Samuro was there, then I swear people on blue team would have died, and it wouldn't have turned out as well. So here's someone to just go get bot. And someone really, really, really needs to deal with top. I mean, it's, again, both teams are benefiting from their mercs, so it's kind of evening out, but there's no reason to miss the top soak. It's a good dive on KT. Should be able to make it out because you'll have Eldurin's might up. I don't even think that the smite was needed, but that works. So now if Tygus, oh yeah, they have to leave. If it was only D.Va, then they could have held on. So Tyrael's gonna go try to support his team. That's good.
How do you like it?
This is a super minor thing, but there's no reason to stand. I mean, I'm sure it was a misclick, but it's just, I feel like it still needs to be addressed because it's a very minor but potentially really bad thing. Tyrael is not currently in the bush. He is slightly out of the bush on this side, which means that he not only doesn't have vision of being inside the bush, he's also showing if the red team had any vision here, and he wouldn't be able to see if anybody was here. He could see a little bit there, but he could see that if he was in the bush too. So that's super, super minor, being like really nitpicky thing, but that's you should really not do that. Even though there's like a 0% chance there's going to be anybody there, it's still, there's no point in standing there. Actually, he probably was visible by that one minion there. It's always best to make sure that you give the other team as little information as possible about where you are. So like there'll be times when like I'm trying to gank somebody with another teammate, I will intentionally go a sort of not like needlessly long route, but I will make sure that I'm not seen by the minion wave, or like let's say on Warhead Junction. If I'm gonna go do boss top lane, I need to make sure that none of the minion waves that are coming from top lane see me at all. And it's really good if you're able to go past when the minion wave line is actually towards your side of the map and you still aren't seen, then they like totally aren't gonna think you're there. So if you do get seen, then all of a sudden the enemies are like, oh, we saw you on the map. We know you're somewhere over here. Maybe they're doing boss. We should go check boss. So that's just, it's so important to not show on the map. And making sure not to even poke your head out of a bush is really important. Unless you're like deliberately baiting like a Probius who has like 3 warp rifts in a bush and was waiting to kill somebody. Oh my gosh, I actually tested that. Tyrael should be up. They got the kill. Tyrael should have immediately just judgmented D.Va, because then they could have guaranteed the D.Va kill and probably gotten the Tehran kill. Because D.Va was able to do a lot of damage just by being out of mech and with her big shot. Tyrael should die to that. Oh wow, he was really close. Really close. So there, I think that the safer bet would have probably been standing outside of the range of Blaze's ult, because it charges up for 2.6 seconds, and because I believe Judgment has a three quarters of a second windup, you could wait until about after 2 seconds, and then start channeling to dash onto him, because that way you would probably dodge the DOT while also still stunning him and killing him. But it worked out. I thought he was gonna die from that. Ooh, D.Va almost died. Oh no, Tehran. Yeah, so getting boss is the totally acceptable thing to do right now. It's actually going to be a bit awkward if like a good Zarya's getting energy. I was say if Zarya doesn't get enough energy off of this, it's going to be really tough for him to do boss. So again, relatively like in the scope of the game, it's not like, oh, big problem or whatever, but look how much free. Okay, so let's look at how much free damage Tyrael took from the boss. So the boss started up its line damage, or it's like, you know, rectangle damage in front of it. You can sidestep this and it'll keep shooting in that direction, but it does a lot of damage. And Tyrael stands in this for almost the full duration. Actually, yeah, the full duration. So we took about an extra, I want to say 1,500 damage from the boss that he didn't need to take, which then prompted Lily to use her jug of 1,000 cups. Now, she might have still used it to heal up KT, but she wouldn't have had to channel it for so long, which would have meant it would have been on a shorter cooldown. So it's just taking free damage. You don't need to be taking that damage. Tyrael did the holy ground too early, but that's fine because they're gonna get the blaze kill. Now Tyrael's getting very, very. I don't even know if I'd say overconfident because he might actually get this, but that's really risky. Is he gonna get it? Oh, he got it. Nice. So that was a really good play. It's funny if he did it even slightly earlier, he would have done it too early and he would have missed it, and then he would have had to back off. But that was a really good steal. That can be really scary because if you miss that and because you use your Eldurin's Might to go in, you're not going to have an escape other than Smite, and if they catch you, you're basically just dead. So that was really risky, but it paid off. The rest of the team is pushing the boss. Oh, I missed something. I'm assuming he judgmented KT. So the next thing he wants to do, obviously, is just to group up with the team. The team, if they can deathball hard enough, they can potentially just push to win off of that boss. It's really unlikely, but they have a Zarya, and I think that they actually could do it. I'm really surprised he got that kill. That's actually crazy. So clearly, this is showing my lack of player experience on Tyrael. I don't quite know what he can handle. I don't know why he switched that. Does he have a... No, he doesn't. He can actually kill Samurai right now. I have absolutely no idea why Samurai switched to that clone. I feel like they're sort of just feeding Tyrael kills now. They're not respecting him at all. So blue team decided to not go for pushing to get top keep with boss, and they're instead opting to try to get bot keep, it seems. Not sure if Lily's going to be able to heal through all that. I think she will. So there, Tyrael can't really do much because he's just out of mana. So I'm not expecting to get much done. It worked out. Now they get free bot keep, and even though they could like try to be super aggressive and just end right now, it's way safer to just get the Zerg wave, because if they get the Zerg wave, it's going to be pushing bot lane, as we see on the minimap. So if they can push, or if they get the beacons, they can just end the game through bot, because there's, I mean, it's totally possible for red team to be able to clear all the Zerg, but it's unlikely. So here I think that Tyrael is taking advantage of the fact that red team lacks very much like reliable hard CC to actually stop him from just like overstaying like that, or like I guess I'd say maybe like range sustained damage. And now Blaze is kind of trying. I mean, I shouldn't say he's being dumb. He's trying to get on the point because red team knows that if they lose this point and they have to deal with all the Zerg and they have no like push top lane with their Zerg wave for it, it's gonna be really rough. Okay. Double check if righteousness's cooldown was, if it was off cooldown. Okay, so here, classic thing. You have the mana for it. Use righteousness to try to save KT. You didn't use. I know that you got stunned here, which meant that you couldn't do it specifically when you needed it, but you could have done it preemptively. However, that did mean that you had the mana to kill Tyrael, so ultimately it worked out, but I think that it would have been better to try to keep KT alive. And that should be GG. Because there's no way with KT and Blaze with his combustion and Tyrael with her Starfall being dead, there's like no way they can clear this. So yeah, I think that I want to say that there were actually a lot of mistakes that were made on both parties, but like for example, just position like overstaying or being really forward or leading the blue team into potentially hazardous territory that wasn't really punished just because I feel like the other team either, or it was a combination of they couldn't because of their comp and they also didn't know how to punish him. But it worked out, so whatever works, works. Is that what people say? I don't know. So, takeaways I have from this video are that I think what's really important with a frontline to dive tank or bruiser, I don't know, bruiser warrior, whatever you want to call Tyrael, with that kind of character, you need to be really careful with how you engage because like judgment is basically an all-in on somebody. I mean, it's not like he's risking his life for it, but it's the big pointing an arrow at this person. Team, we're gonna focus this person, or I'm gonna CZ them, so we're going in. And he's really good at engaging and disengaging with his smite. So I think that it can be really dangerous if you start going in and doing what is it? What do I call it? Whenever I play Muradin, I call it doing Muradin things where Muradin can do Muradin things, but his team can't. And there have been lots of times where I'm playing Muradin and I'm, doing Muradin shenanigans, just like messing with their team. And then someone on my team or several people on my team thinks, oh, we can do that too. And they don't realize you're not Muradin. You can't do that. You can't just go into their team and then leave whenever you want because you're a tank and you're hard to kill. Like Tyrael can just go into the enemy team, like harass them a whole bunch, shield, smite, and then just fly back out with his Eldurin's might. The rest of his team can't. So it's very easy to sort of bait your team into going a potentially dangerous route because they trust they trust in their warrior and they're going to follow their warrior because they want to stay as 5 and the warrior is like the pack leader. So you have to be really careful about leading your team astray and also just overstaying. It's really easy to it's not being arrogant or cocky. It's just being overconfident with how long you can stay somewhere. And I really think that the red team wasn't punishing Tyrael enough for basically chilling around their team 1v3. Like they were kind of in the, oh, what do we do about this guy stage. So I think, yeah, two big takeaways are make sure that you're not leading your team astray when you're playing a warrior because they sometimes look to the tank, or teams will often look to the tank for like being the initiator or the pack leader, and also to not overstay and not even if you can, even if your abilities allow you to overstay, you still don't. It still might not be worth it sometimes because if the other team punishes you, they might be able to even do that without trading an ult for your life, and then you end up leaving your team 4v5, which can be really bad, especially in either snowbally maps or just in late game fights. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Mr. Tyrael player, for sending in your replay. And hopefully I will see everyone on stream or in the next video. So thanks for watching. Take care.